When was the last time you poured your thoughts onto paper, transforming a simple message into a heartfelt treasure? The act of putting pen to paper has always held a special place in my heart. Since I was a child, I've spent weekends crafting handmade cards with my Grandma Judy and dear family friend Peg. We spent hours selecting paper patterns, using ink to stamp designs, cutting out shapes and adding little embellishments, stickers, washi tape, and more, to create a collection of handcrafted cards, each made with great attention to detail. They taught me the beauty of taking time to express feelings and connect with loved ones through paper. I jumped on any opportunity to send cards, whether for birthdays, holidays, special events, or just to say hello. When COVID hit and the world distanced itself, I turned to snail mail, sending colorful notes and letters filled with little surprises, even confetti. Letters became my way of bringing joy and connection in a time when physical interactions were limited. I cherish the chance to share my creations with others, and over the years, this passion has only deepened. I am a regular at my college mail center, as letter writing remains my favorite way to stay connected with loved ones while 1,200 miles away from home. The warm responses I received made me realize that this simple part of my routine was a meaningful, out-of-the-ordinary gesture to those who received it. This got me thinking, why has letter writing become such an uncommon practice, especially when it makes people feel so special? Ever since humans have been on Earth together, we've used writing as our main means of communicating. It's ingrained in us. Whether it's professing feelings in a love note or recording a significant event, physically writing our thoughts down provides a unique window into the past. Early letters provide valuable insights into the social and political landscapes around the world, contributing to what we know now about human history. Over the centuries, letters evolved into more personal communication through forms such as poetry and love letters, reflecting deep emotion in a way no other communication can convey. Have you ever heard the phrase, "no mail, no morale"? It was coined during the World Wars, referring to the sadness and visible mood switch the soldiers had when they failed to receive mail from their loved ones. They depended on regular correspondence and were deeply affected by whether or not they received recognition from home. Letters, whether political, romantic, or wartime, show the timeless importance of written communication in shaping history and personal connections. However, as technology has quickly advanced, it has nearly wiped out paper letter writing. We get lost in a sea of instant messages and social media interactions, causing us to overlook the impact that thoughtful, handwritten words can have. This shift raises concerns about the quality and depth of our conversations. There's a growing sense that despite being more connected than ever before, we are feeling increasingly isolated. For example, a study conducted by the National Library of Medicine found a significant correlation between high social media use and perceived social isolation, reinforcing the idea that being connected online does not equate to meaningful relationships. If we can't spare the time to craft a note to those we care about, how do we have the time to prioritize our relationships in a way they deserve? In addition, basic skills associated with letter writing, such as cursive handwriting, proper addressing, knowing where to buy stamps, and more, are becoming far less common, particularly among younger generations. I fear it is all too common that for birthdays and holidays, kids rip open cards, hand it to mom or dad, and say, "Can you please read this?" While the convenience of digital communication is undeniable, it is important to recognize the numerous benefits of letter writing that stand the test of time and find ways to preserve this meaningful form of connection. Letters offer a sensory experience that evokes strong emotions and create a tangible connection. Unlike fleeting texts or Snapchats, a handwritten letter, whether a single sentence or a few paragraphs, shows care and effort. Its tangible form allows us to revisit it, seeing the evolution of our handwriting and reliving the emotions it stirred within us. There's no magic in scrolling up through text. As my Aunt Bonnie shares, opening a handwritten letter 4 decades later can flood one with the same, if not stronger, emotions than when first received. This lasting joy and connection are qualities that digital communication struggles to replicate. Letter writing is set apart from other forms of communication because it requires a singular focus. In an era where multitasking and distractions are the norm, letter writing demands our full attention. When we sit down to write a letter, we are forced to slow down, contemplate, and express our feelings in a thoughtful and deliberate manner. Each handwritten letter is one of a kind, has the writer's individual handwriting, and reflects care and consideration, something that cannot be replicated through AI and the copy-paste function of our devices. Letter writing goes deeper than just being a handcrafted communication. It can also have a profound impact on our mental health. A study published in Psychosomatic Medicine found that participants who engaged in expressive writing about gratitude experienced lower levels of anxiety and depressive symptoms, as well as an improved overall well-being. By taking the time to craft a handwritten note to those we are grateful for, we not only enhance personal relationships, but also contribute positively to our emotional health. In my own experience as a letter writer, I'm reminded of the countless times that a handwritten letter has brought me joy and comfort. Letter writing has served as an outlet to calm my anxious mind over the years and as a means of channeling my own emotions into something positive and uplifting for loved ones. I often struggle with the feeling that digital communication and social media friendships are taking over my life. In a world where social media friendships consist of text, Snapchats, Instagram, it often feels superficial and fleeting. Being a Gen Z kid, I found that reconnecting with an old friend often starts with a text. Hi, how have you been? Which can lead to, I have been good, how are you? Which then leads to a brief exchange of life updates and ends abruptly. Anyone else? Being left unread buries the conversation under other messages, draining all of its potential. It's just loose threads of conversation. In stark contrast, my pen pal from Rwanda has enriched my understanding of connection. 7 years old, living in a rural area without access to technology, she relies on the art of letter writing to connect with me. It can take weeks for our letters to cross the distance between our countries, but there's a sweetness in this waiting, knowing she's eagerly anticipating my response just as I am for hers. I remember the day I received her first letter. It was filled with drawings, stories about school, and questions about my life, all written with so much care and intention. I've been able to witness her handwriting and illustrations improve in real time as if we were growing up together. Each stroke of crayon feels like a bridge built between us across continents and language barriers. I had the incredible opportunity to meet Louise in person last year. The joy and excitement we shared in that moment, an exchange deeper than any text or social media interaction. Writing letters feels refreshing. It offers a sense of peace and fulfillment knowing we are connecting with others in a lasting and meaningful way. No matter who I am writing to, I am filled with joy crafting each note, hoping to bring a smile to their face. Now, the reality is, digital communication is here to stay. If we want to benefit from the timeless art of letter writing, we have to find ways to incorporate it into our lives. When I began my college journey, I crafted a list of people on an index card whom I could send postcards to. Every place I would visit or adventure, I'd collect a few postcards, just 50 cents each. I purchased a sheet of 100 postcard stamps, the most affordable option for a college student, and set a goal of using them all by the end of my freshman year. My 1-mile round-trip walk from the freshman dorms to the mail center was my favorite errand, and within just 2 months, I found myself begging my friend to drive me to the post office to buy more stamps, and this was before I knew stamps were sold on campus. I recall the entire car ride being filled with me going on and on and on about my desire to spread joy through the mail, something not most college students would care to listen to, and this TED Talk idea was born. Ironically, I now live in the building closest to the mail center, making that mile-long walk a distant memory. There is endless potential for the ways that writing letters can enrich the relationships in your lives. Professionals, in a digital workplace, what is one way you can set yourself apart and grab people's attention? Incorporate letter writing into your communication strategy. Show your clients, your colleagues, and your network that you genuinely care about building strong relationships. According to research published in the Harvard Business Review, a small gesture of recognition, such as a personal note, can lead to a 21% increase in employee engagement and motivation. By taking the time to express appreciation via letter, you not only enhance workplace relationships, but also contribute to an overall culture of recognition and support. College students, handwritten letters don't always have to travel far. If you have roommates, you have a reason to write a card. Make it fun. Surprise them with sticky notes on their mirror, tiny notes hidden in their bag or duffel bag for a weekend trip. My roommates know to stay on the lookout. Notes have been found in the medicine cabinet, Belvita box, under their lamp, and inside books, just to show appreciation and thoughtfulness. Professors deserve recognition too. A heartfelt note can set you apart as a student, create a connection, show appreciation, and who knows, it might even enhance your grade. For those in relationships, rediscover the charm of love letters. They are perfect for long-distance connections and add a personal touch that gifts can lack. If you're searching for gift ideas, a heartfelt letter will always be a winner. Guys, bonus points if you go beyond just signing the Hallmark card. Parents, send your child with a note in their lunchbox. It builds confidence, strengthens your connection, and sends a smile to their face during the school day. Keeping the art of letter writing alive starts with you teaching the next generation. One of my favorite traditions is sending mail to the families I have built relationships with nannying over the years. Receiving mail, especially when it's addressed to children, is a new and exciting experience that brightens their day and shows you are thinking of them. The anticipation of waiting for the mailman to deliver, running to the mailbox, tearing open the envelope and seeing what you wrote them. Perhaps we need to bring this childlike joy back into our own lives. Your parents, your grandparents, remember that letter writing was likely a cherished form of communication for them. When you receive a letter, don't just reply with a text. Consider writing back, better yet, in cursive. This small gesture will not only impress them, but also evoke memories of their youth. Okay, just a few more. Teachers, neighbors, parents, mentors, there's always an occasion waiting for you to pick up a pen and write. Embrace the creativity. The possibilities are endless. Why not catch your mail carrier on their morning route and surprise them with a letter? As I'm sure you understand by now, receiving a letter on your desk or in the mail, it's personal, it's thoughtful, and it goes beyond the digital noise we encounter daily. Letters are not just a relic of the past, but a valuable way to connect with others. Letter writing weaves together the often overlooked connections in our fast-paced digital world. Each handwritten letter acts as a thread, binding thoughts and emotions together and strengthening relationships. It transforms fleeting thoughts into documented appreciation to those you care about. Holding a physical letter has an effect that screens can never replace, one rooted in emotional richness and human connection. Whether it's a thank you note, a word of encouragement, or just a simple sticky note, I encourage everyone to take a break from digital communication and discover the joy and fulfillment that comes from sending and receiving a handwritten letter.